Hello, and welcome to Spicy Toast Gaming. Thank you for tuning in to another Spicy Toast Gaming video. Today we're going to check out Ashe versus Aurelion Sol. This was a viewer requested video for Ashe's star powers. If you don't know, round start, Frostbite the strongest enemy and give it vulnerable this round. And then the Avarosian Spirit, +1 starting mana. When an ally kills a unit with 0 power, grant your ally 1/1. For the relics, we're going with Counterplan so that we're generating a free Frostbite every round. Archangel Staff, round start, refill your mana, so we always have the mana to use the Frostbite if we need it. And then Troll King's Crown, so our units can still attack and even grab some of those 0 power units and still kill them while dealing damage to the Nexus. Alright, let's hop into game and see how we can do. As is pretty common these days, we did skip the first couple battles and we're out on our way to the first boss just to save some time, especially with Ashe, as this is already going to be a long recording and normally the first matches are the most boring. 4 powers, we have New Student, Battlefield Training, and Unyielding Determination. And then for the support champion, we have Vayne. Currently, we don't have any special items on Ashe, just the starting relics. So let's go face off against Fiora and see how we do. Alright, we'll hold on to Vayne. We'll get rid of the Funsmith. This is actually very important. This is how you win with Ashe, especially against Aurelion Sol. You want to get Winter's Breath with whatever items you can. This will win you the game. So kill all enemies with 0 power, then Frostbite all enemies. Absolutely amazing if you need to just Frostbite everyone and then have a free attack, essentially, when no one can block. Or if you've already frostbitten all of their big units, this just suddenly kills them all. Really, really good. This can definitely help you win games. Normally, you can see this in shops or as rewards from completing adventures. Definitely try this out if you see it in-game for Ashe. So we're going to hold on to that. We'll hold on to Vayne so we have a higher chance to draw our Ashe. I think we'll start off with the Omen Hawk here. Yeah, we'll just try to attack before Fiora gets on the board and do as much damage as we can. They have Unyielding, so we don't want them to have their units sitting on the board stacking up. Alright, I think we'll throw down... Yeah, I think we'll throw down Vayne so we can get some extra mana next round.
Oh, you're in for it. Next time.
So we'll have a bit of extra mana so we can play Ashe.
All the world on one arrow.
Alright, so we'll attack here. She will get Frostbitten. This is why Overwhelm is so important. It lets us actually hit the units that get the vulnerable and then stack up and buff our own units and not waste too much damage on the Nexus. Overwhelm is very nice on Ashe.
Is this supposed to be a challenge?
So here we could use Winter's Breath right here to kill Fiora and Frostbite the other unit. I think actually we'll maybe just use a Tumble here and let Ashe attack, and that will automatically Frostbite the Cythria.
Guide me!
One banner, one destiny.
Alright, so they have the attack token, and they're all a little bit buffed up. I think let's just use our Winter's Breath here. to kill Fiora and frostbite their other units so they can't really attack.
Everything I've worked. Purge with silver.
So we'll just try to attack right here. Should be able to end the game. If not, we do have a tumble that we can do. Alright, very nice. So we're just going to focus on Ashe here. We'll get Ancient Coins. We can try to get her on the board earlier. I'm sure focusing on a Vayne build would be perfectly fine here, but this is an Ashe playthrough. Let's try our best to focus on her. Last Breath, this is very good, but really, we don't want to rely on our Ashe dying. We'd rather try to get her out cheaper and protect her. So these are the two we already have, I believe. Yeah. Welcome Gifts is pretty good. I think I'm actually going to use a reroll here, see if we can get something a little bit better. Sure, Disarmed, this works pretty well. Good defensive power, but also with Ashe. This can bring people down to 0 power, and if that happens, then that counts for a lot of Ashe's bonuses because they deal with people with 0 power. So like the Avarician Spirit, kill an ally with 0 power. It doesn't matter how they got 0 power. So if you use Disarmed or if you use Enfeebling Strike and they get to 0 power, it still counts. So this is pretty good. Not as good as Enfeebling Strike, but decent. Alright, let's try to get that champion item chest. I think we'll go for Gangplank and try to just end the game as soon as we can. Granted, Ashe is a bit of a slower deck. Alright, we'll re-roll Omen Hawk since we know we're going to draw it anyways, and we'll get rid of the Funsmith and the Wild Claw as they're just too expensive for right now. Always want to hold on to the Winter's Breath if you get it.
Don't ask where it's from. Ask how much.
Alright, so we'll just play our Omen Hawk here to start.
Gather round, gather round. Focus, focus. Next time.
Yeah, I'll hold off for now. So I want to play Ashe here. I'm a little worried, though, that they're going to immediately kill her, though. I'm actually going to risk a pass and hope they play something, but they might just immediately pass and we lose the turn. So this is going to be a risk, but I'm going to go for it, because otherwise they're probably going to have enough mana to just immediately kill the Ashe, since they have the 2 powder kegs. Okay, so, yeah, if I would have played Ashe, they could have used this on her, killing her. But now we can play Ashe.
I think not.
And we'll actually get rid of the powder keg since they don't have any mana to cast any spells. Well, they could cast Warning Shot. But we don't want them to stack this up too high. And then with the Overwhelm, we're not really losing any damage on the Nexus.
My aim is true.
I'll burn for what I've done.
Alright, let's just go with the Steadfast Elkin. Sure, let's...
The time is right. Strike now.
Sometimes, even if you don't really need to use that with Ashe, since you have, or since you're generating them every round anyways, and you have the spell mana to use it, you still might want to sometimes use them, since it does have that Hextech Fabricator that's going to be adding items to your cards.
Patience.
So, like, did we really need it there? Like, no, they probably weren't going to attack, but we don't need to save mana since we have our spell mana getting refilled.
monsters still lurk in demon.
Neither the flames nor the depths can claim me.
Alright, so we'll attack like this. I wanted to leave Ashe open so that Gangplank would potentially try. Yeah, we'll still see if they decide to block here. We have the flash freeze ready. We could kill him. It would be nice to kill him if possible. Although actually I guess, right, Ashe is leveled up, so since he got frostbitten, he can't block actually. Alright, we'll just use our Winter's Breath then to get him off the board. Alright, so you want to get the Dreadway off the board as soon as you can. So we're going to use the Crystal Arrow here. Well, actually we have enough mana. We'll use the Flash Freeze into the Winter's Breath to get it off the board. Alright, we'll just attack and end the game here. Very nice.
Work is never done.
Alright, so we do have harsh winds here. I feel like we're probably not going to need this fairly often since we do have Ashe generating frostbites already. Normally we're going to have enough without this. I think I'd rather have the Vanguard Defender as just a very solid 2-drop, like a 2/3/3 with tough. That's going to be very nice to have. We're really trying to focus on our early game if at all possible. Reckoner's Mark, always fun. Usually not the best choice against Aurelion Sol though. Probably just get us killed. So we'll just go with the Phage here. Alright, we'll go for the Tahm Kench. Alright, a pretty solid starting hand. I think we'll actually just go with this. This will be great for putting on some early game pressure. We're going to play all of our 1-drops here, that way our sparring student gets as buffed up as possible. Very solid start for an opening round.
Back in the game.
I will unite the Freljord.
I do my own stunts.
Alright, a little annoying that they were able to get Echo, but at the same time he's going to get frostbitten and then we can just deal with him pretty easily. Like if we wanted to, we could just use our Dawning Shadow to kill him.
Neither the flames nor the depths can claim me.
Alright, so we'll kill Echo with this. We'll get rid of their powder keg. Yeah, we'll go with this.
I'm gonna gut you.
We'll play a flash freeze here. Well, yeah, we'll play a flash freeze. It's not necessarily needed at all, but just wanting to give Ashe an item. Potentially increasing her damage. It did. Gave her another Phage. Very nice.
Ready for deployment. My aim is true.
Explosive! A die is expensively unique.
Alright, we'll just immediately kill Tom Kench, getting him off the board. And now we don't need to worry about their attack, and we should be able to end the game this round. So normally with Ashe, you want to be grabbing the vulnerable units and killing them until you get to the point where you actually have enough damage to end the game. Once you have that and Ashe is leveled up, you normally just want to attack with all your units and make sure the enemy units can't block because they're at 0 power. So right now, if they had a couple extra units, we'd be throwing out like Flash Freezes or Crystal Arrow to frostbite them all, since we're in kill range of the enemy Nexus. Alright, Ephemeral Vanguard Defender. That's kind of funny. You know what, since we have to choose something, I will end up actually going with this. It will help us push a good amount of damage in the early game, especially if we play it after Ashe and it has Overwhelm, or it can be a deterrent to keep a scary enemy from attacking at times. So our Frostbite is going to be hitting the strongest enemy and giving them vulnerable, and this is going to be giving the weakest enemy vulnerable. So having more vulnerable, instead of using our last reroll, we'll just buy that here, and we'll buy 1 copy of this, making it a little bit more threatening, and we'll try to see if we can get something decent from the other shop. Decent opening hand. We'll actually get rid of the Trapper, but pretty happy. Always nice to have a Winter's Breath. If we can buy any more copies of that, we definitely will. Hopefully with some more items, but the plunder isn't bad. We'll get our Ashe on the board.
All the world on one arrow.
I will not hold back.
So annoying that we're getting stunned, but honestly it's better that it's happening now rather than later. Alright, I think we'll just use a Winter's Breath here, using all of our mana to kill Lee Sin and then make it so Echo can't really attack since he'll be frostbitten. Again, we don't really care, or we want to actually use up all of our mana since it's getting refilled every round with Ashe. Normally, if you didn't have that, you'd want to be maybe saving or banking mana.
Lead us to victory.
Alright, so since we need to push a little bit more damage, I think it's the perfect time for our 2-cost 7/7.
Master yourself. Master your enemy.
Show me a target.
So we'll just attack. She's leveled up, and since they'll both be at 0, they can't block. Still stunning Ashe, but we still have enough damage to push through because of our ephemeral units. Nice. So Alpha Wildcat, while the Phage makes it kind of ridiculous, we're not really able to play this much. We haven't really seen our Rhymefang Wolf at all. Kind of crazy. Shatter's very nice to have, but I think we'll just go with this here. Very strong for removing some of those crazy targets. So we don't have enough, but honestly that's kind of fine. We're not playing that many spells. This is pretty strong, but I think we have enough cards in our hand right now. Caught in the Cold, also pretty nice. With Ashe, you actually want to be looking in the shops because quite often they have good frostbite spells for you. But I'm happy with our current setup, so I think I'll just leave. And we're actually going to cut the Wild Claw as we're not really getting up high enough to use it anyways. Well, we'll get rid of the Funsmith this time, and we'll get rid of the Wild Claw if we have another opportunity. This will kind of be our just-in-case card of if the game is going really late game. Alright, again, pretty decent starting hand, so we'll just go with this. Nice to have the Demacian Steel with the Elkin.
Oh, it is a great day for a reckoning.
6-5, that's pretty rough. We'll hold off on the Elkin for now.
I guess we're really doing this. Someone get him up!
Oh, I guess he's so large because of their unstable inventory. He just happened to get really good item in addition to the... I think he starts with Phage, but also that Colossal Hammer.
I will unite the Freljord.
Who's ready to reckon?
Alright, we'll give Ashe the weapon, let her scale up a bit more. Alright, so we're not going to attack with the Omen Hawk since it's just going to get immediately killed by the Draven. Although, Draven is actually weak enough that should be able to kill him despite the fact that he doesn't have 0 health. So we'll try to go with this. It's a bit of a risk, but I think we should be fine. Alright, nice. And now if they attack, we have enough mana that we can just frostbite him.
I'll lead us to victory.
So I'm going to try to kill it with the Omen Hawk. He still might buff himself up, but that's why we're risking the Omen Hawk and not Ashe here.
Draven.
Now we just want to build out our board, preparing for the next attack.
For the hand. Butcher.
Alright, we'll use our Crystal Arrow here to stun all of their units. Or not stun, frostbite all of them that could block.
Noxus will pay for what they did to us.
So yeah, we're in kill range, and we'll use our Flash Freeze here. So since we can potentially kill them right here, we're not going to bother challenging anyone or grabbing their vulnerable units. Well, those are handy.
Now we're cooking.
Don't stand against me.
So here we're trying to get another item to buff up, and it worked. Perfect. Quick Strike Blade is tempting, especially since she frostbites when she attacks. But again, it does have the chance to kill her, so we'll just go with Locket of the Iron Solari, further protecting our Ashe. We're trying to not be risky here. Armed Gearhead isn't bad, but... Okay, Enfeebling Strike is pretty good. Although Double Disarmed is pretty funny. Yeah, Enfeebling Strike will help us out in some of those longer, scarier matches. Here I always try to go for the Epic Shop. So Yasuo with Unstable. Alright, I don't think we need the Dawning Shadow. Not terrible to have, but we'd rather have our Winter's Breath. And then Elkin good, and we'll hold on to Vayne to get the Ashe, hopefully. we still have, like, not seen our Rhymefang Wolf, like, at all. I don't even know if we've drawn it once, which is kind of crazy, to be honest. Here we'll play the Elkin first, since they don't have any units blocking, and we want to get the damage down on the Nexus.
The Yordle here's with me.
Alright, we'll try to go for the second Elkin and hope they... Well, actually it doesn't matter if they block, because they're going to get frostbitten next round anyways.
Where you go?
Alright, they ended up blocking, that's fine.
Hang on, sir.
Is a leaf's only purpose to fall?
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
Alright, so here, because of the barrier, they are too scared to attack. It's always one thing you can try to swing the AI, their decision making in your favor. Playing units with barrier or units with ephemeral will often just discourage the AI from even bothering to attack. Let's actually see how much damage we can push here.
Approaching the battlefront.
Alright, so we'll drag him to the weakest spot. Most likely they're going to end up stunning our units because it's Yasuo. But we'll see. We're doing this for the item. Alright, so they both got 1-1 from Dragon's Tooth, not bad. Yep, so there's the stun. We figured that would happen, but we wanted to risk it and see if we could end the game here.
I'll lead us to victory.
No regrets. We don't want any trouble.
Alright, so the good thing is that Yasuo now at least has a little bit of a reduced attack. And we almost have them dead. We should be good next time we attack.
Keep going, kid. You'll get it.
Alright, we'll just go like this. Frostbiting them all again. We're trying to discourage them from attacking because Yasuo gets a special bonus when he attacks.
Focus.
No backing down.
So we'll use the Ashe's Frostbite here. Mostly just for the Hextech Fabricator. Also, yeah, that's another great thing with the Enfeebling Strike. If you hit a unit that has, well, any power, if your attack is going to deal more damage than they have power, so essentially reducing them down to 0, it'll count and give you that 1-1. It essentially triggers before the other attack would go through. I guess we'll just attack here since all of their units are going to be at 0 power. We still might get frostbitten, or not frostbitten, stunned, but as long as one of our units gets through, we win. Yep, so they don't have enough stuns, and we are set. Alright, very nice to get another, or 2 more copies of Ashe in our deck, and buffing her up even more. So right now we're sitting at 7 copies, pretty nice. And yeah, we have 4 copies of Rhymefang Wolf, but I don't think we've even seen it once so far this game, which is a little crazy. Alright, so we're going to get another item on our Flash Freeze. That's very good. Alright, I guess this isn't going to be a major payoff for us, but we do use spells semi-frequently. Like, we normally do 1 or 2 a round, especially in the later game. So this will deal a little bit of damage. I think we're actually going to get Fury of the North. This will be a great combat trick for pretty cheap. Yeah, I think I am happy with this. We're not really caring about how many Flash Freezes are in a deck. We're normally only using the ones that Ashe is generating anyway, so we don't really need to buy more copies of this. We'll be good with that. So we have Tryndamere with Power Overwhelming, Aurelion with Level Up, and then Aurelion Sol with also Level Up. We don't need 2 Ashes, especially since we're probably going to draw a second one, but we'll keep the other cards.
Brothers born from battle.
Alright, Tryndamere's going to have the annoying Undying Rage power. So we'll save the Demacian Steel for our Ashe. Oh look, we finally got a Rhymefang Wolf, which is pretty good because it can help us against Tryndamere. So this won't kill him, but it will reduce his power down so that he'll essentially be useless for the rest of the game.
This will be a fine story.
I've got this. Is this the life you want? Avarosa, guide me! Let the flames take you.
So I think we'll just get our Rhymefang on the board.
We see through all.
They're probably not going to attack, but we'll use a Flash Freeze here for the extra damage, and then the Fabricator.
The time is right. Strike now.
Also, yeah, I guess our Spellburn will trigger Plunder for Winter's Breath, so that's not too bad. Alright, I want to save the mana for Winter's Breath. Do I want to use... So we're going to get damage down on their Nexus. So Winter Breath will be 4. So we have the extra mana to play with. So I'll use a Flash Freeze here just to further protect our Ashe a little bit. Although I guess we could potentially just go for the kill. So they'll be able to block, but yeah, we'll go with this. See if we can end the game right here.
Dance in the flames.
All right, nice. If possible against Tryndamere, you want to be able to just avoid his units and kill the Nexus, either with Overwhelm or Elusives if you can beat him down before he kills you. I'll go with Fury of the North. Getting more copies of this, not bad. And then Hero's Horn will really be helpful in case we don't draw our Ashe. We already know we're going to draw Omen Hawk, so we don't need to have it in our opening hand. And then the other two are just too expensive and not as useful as Winter's Breath.
How'd you do that?
Getting a nice amount of early damage down here.
they fall, freedom grows.
Let's see, what's her power, the strongest unit? I guess, yeah, Ashe with her barrier will be helpful here. I was thinking about just using the frostbite. But yeah, the barrier actually keeps them from attacking. Nice. So she's going to level up, which means they won't be able to block. So let's actually just try to kill them here. So we're using Fury of the North on our one unit with Spell Shield, so that it's going to be a little bit safer. And then we'll use our Flash Freeze for the double Hextech Fabricators.
The time is right. Strike now. I'll lead us to victory.
Yeah, if you ever think you can get the win, you've got to try to go for the throat and just end the game. Yeah, we'll go with Rhyme Fang Wolf. The other ones can be decent with Ashe, but they're just too expensive, especially against Aurelion Sol. But they can be good in other matches. Moment of truth. Alright, decent opening hand. We'll get rid of the Sentry, though. And I believe we still have our Revive, and we also have our Unyielding in case stuff goes horribly wrong.
Scouts wear helmets. Gunners carry guns.
Alright, we'll go with our Steadfast because he can reduce her attack down to 0 if she blocks. Also, we didn't get Ashe, so that's pretty bad. So Fury of the North might actually be pretty clutch here for drawing Ashe. I'm actually going to pull out the Rhyme Fang to kill some of these units. I think that's going to be more important because we couldn't play Ashe this turn anyways. That's annoying, but honestly, it's good that we're getting that out of the way now instead of a turn when they would be able to turn that around and actually kill our cards. So they kind of screwed up here. This is something you always want to avoid, but you can take advantage if the enemy does it. So they're trying to stun our units, so we can just put our units like here, and since they're going to get stunned, the enemy attack is just going to fizzle out and they won't be able to do anything. Alright, here we'll go for Fury of the North, so we draw our Ashe. But we also have our units strong enough that they'll survive Kael's attack, make sure none of her Overwhelm goes into the enemy nexus, and with Enfeebling, we're going to reduce her down to 0. 0 power, that is. And then see both those units, their attack just fizzles. We'll save the extra mana for spell mana, since we don't have Ashe on the board yet. Malphite's annoying.
Avarosa, guide me! I will unite the Freljord.
They think themselves cultured.
So we're just going to try to immediately kill Aurelion Sol with the Wolf. I was going to go for Malphite, but Aurelion Sol is more important. So I'll grab the Malphite. We want to reduce him down to be 0 power like Kayle over here, or even Tristana, so that they're essentially useless. They're just taking up space on the enemy board. You don't necessarily want to kill everyone. No, we probably want to kill Malphite because he's going to be summoning that unstoppable force every round, which is very, very annoying. So if they have the attack token, he'll be generating that, which just over here, stun all enemies, super annoying. So we want to kill him if possible, but we need to get rid of Aurelion Sol first.
Face my shield.
So we could Frostbite Leona, but I think we'll actually do a Fury of the North here instead. So yep, he'll be able to stun all of our units, but it doesn't really matter as they have a full board, and the only one that has attack is Malphite with 3.
Demons walk.
So we'll play Vayne here for the tumble as well as the Crystal Carrier.
What's that one? And that one.
We'll hold off on the tumble for now, actually. Yeah, let's just Frostbite for the double Fabricator.
The time is right. Strike now.
Well, that sucks, but nothing we can really do about it. We'll actually play a Frostbite here just for the double Fabricator again, because we have the extra mana, so might as well. Alright, so pretty much everyone's already at 0, so they can't block. Malphite's going to get at 0. So we will Frostbite their... Actually, we'll Frostbite the Malphite, so Ashe will Frostbite the Moondreamer. Then if we get them all to 0, we can use a Winter's Breath and just kill them all. So nice that they're healing themselves or their units instead of the Nexus.
This world is finished.
Alright, so that costs 4, this costs 5. If we do this, we'll still have enough mana for the Winter's Breath. Let's use this to get rid of their 2 spell shields. So there goes pretty much their whole board.
My, how they stare.
Alright, so we're going to try to end the game with a tumble. Hopefully this is able to go off. Obviously they're going to have a lot of annoying spells in their hand, like the stuns or obliterates or whatnot. Most of those are slow though, so we might be able to get around them. We'll use a Flash Freeze here. That way their one unit is at 0 power, which means Ashe will frostbite the Aurelion Sol, putting him at 0, so neither one of them should be able to block. And we'll, yeah, potentially be able to end the game here. If not, we still have other options available to us. Nice, we're able to win. Alright, so that is Ashe versus Aurelion Sol. It can be a little bit difficult, especially if you're not at a maxed out Ashe, as Ashe really needs some good relics to really end the game a lot sooner. She can be pretty slow, but yeah, I hope that helps you out, and I hope you all have a great day.